This is my current events presentation, The Need to Break Gendered Stereotypes. Started out with an article that I found in an East Indian newspaper called The India Express about a 5-year-old boy in Florida who decided he wanted a Wonder Woman backpack complete with crown for his first trek to kindergarten in his new school. His mother is a writer for Romper.com. It's a news website for the millennial woman. Decided that after her fears that the boy would be mocked subsided, she chose to write an article specifically on the subject of gender stereotypes. And who came to root for the boy first was Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman herself. Her tweet, "Just read this article about Breaking Gender Stereotypes by Katie Alcia on Romper.com. Such an important topic and something I believe so strongly. I hope that Isaac wore the crown in his WW backpack proudly, #WonderBoy. That, along with a picture of Isaac wearing the backpack and crown, went viral. Then, after reading in our text about the Lego group, page 122, chapter 6, one of the most successful toy makers in history decided to try and target young girls with the Friends line of Legos. Pink and soft pastel packaging, so the stereotypical girl could now build beauty salons and decorate domestic spaces. It's met with a lot of resistance from a group of parents attempting to stop sex stereotypes and sex-type toys. They are listed as lettoysbetoys.org.uk. Like language, nonverbal communication is learned by interaction with others. As we see with Isaac, he wanted to be a hero regardless of any sex stereotyping our culture decides on. Meanwhile, verbal communication supposedly expresses masculinity and femininity through gendered speech communities. That, as you can see by Ms. Godot's tweet, is about a story and a little boy. I don't see any gender type in her post. Going through a list of articles, I came upon this one in particular about the little boy Isaac. Getting ready for kindergarten, Mom says, "Hey, go out and pick whatever you want." He looked around the superheroes. "This Wonder Woman backpack is my favorite. It even has a crown, Mom. It's perfect." His mother, Katie, started feeling a little anxious that the boy would be made fun of at his new school when he was so desperate to make friends. Gal Gadot raised an important question about gender stereotyping when she asked, "Why are we trying to get our boys to live in a muted world of blues, browns, and greens where they're fine playing with guns and trucks but not Barbies?" Katie's article on Romper.com titled, "My son is busting gender stereotypes, but I'm still nervous about his first day at school," was seen by Gal Gadot, and with a helpful tweet of Wonder Woman, the conversation started online for many, mostly men. Gal Gadot, taking time to read an article from a mom about her son, could very easily have been just another mom who was concerned about her son too. It would not have had the far-reaching impact, though, that's for sure. Two ways language organizes perceptions of gender are stereotyping men and women and encouraging differences be brought to the forefront of all conversations, chapter 5, page 107. A stereotype is a generalization about an entire class of phenomena based on some knowledge of some members of the class. Doesn't sound too scientific to me. Isaac broke that stereotype by choosing a superhero of a different gender than he, and I don't think he thought to himself, "Wow, I'm going to be breaking down stereotypes." He just liked Wonder Woman. Researchers Sharon Lamb and Lynn Brown in 2006, chapter 6, page 126, drew 3 conclusions to toy sections in stores. 1, toys are sex segregated, different aisles for girls and boys' toys. Boys' sections are full of action toys. Girls' sections have wigs, makeup, dolls, vacuum cleaners. And 3, toys for boys come in darker, more masculine colors. By defining, organizing, and evaluating gender language gender language reinforces social views of sex and gender roles for everyone. Whether you belong in one category or another, people will stereotype one another by what they say and how they say it. While our text, page 102, chapter 5, says stereotypes in generic language, mailman, chairman, fireman, is leading many people to believe that only males are included. I find that very degrading towards women. Do girls really think that only men carry the mail? And what happens if they see a female postal worker or letter carrier? Will they not understand why the woman is carrying the mail? Will that make you wonder then about Isaac, the 5-year-old who picked out the Wonder Woman backpack? There are things that in our text I find completely ludicrous, but unfortunately are accurate. Again, page 102, chapter 5. Storms with men's names are less likely to have high casualties than storms with women's names because people don't take them as seriously. What does that have to say about gender stereotypes? Wow, I know it's a stretch, but our text says announcers at sporting events comment more on female athletes' outfits, bodies, and hairstyles. What do you think they would make out of Wonder Woman, or for that matter, Isaac? That's a conversation I'd love to be a part of. In this project, I have learned from this paper that to a 5-year-old, this is about a cool backpack. That's all. He's leaving the gender stereotypes to the adults. He just wants a backpack with his favorite superhero on it, and don't get me started about how cool the crown is. Stereotypes we continue to hold on to are the most laughable and the most ridiculous. Little girls should play with dolls, decorate, and play house. Boys should play with guns, trucks, and footballs. Most young children are still sex segregated on the playground simply due to the types of games that they play. They get older and the rules change, but they're still sex segregated. Men have to have their space and women should shrink to fit. A more powerful man in the office can walk into another man's of lesser importance, but not vice versa. Men will enter a woman's space more than women enter a man's space. And it just gets more convoluted after that. So, we'll end with Katie Alcea, and remember, my son is busting gender stereotypes. You gotta love this kid. Can't touch him.